And a pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the campus of Country Day High School, where we have some prep volleyball to bring you tonight, and a really good one on tap with two very top-quality programs as the Jaguars of Pope John Paul II come into town to take on the Country Day Cajuns. Emmanuel Peppes here with you, ready to take you through this match. The JV match just finishing in a thrilling three-setter that Country Day won in the final set, 15-12 after losing the first set, 25-16. A nice rally by the Cajuns junior varsity team, and now the varsity team hoping to pull off what would be a huge win against the Pope John Paul team that has been very highly regarded. Of course, not only the two-time defending state champions, but what they have done this season. Just one blemish in the win-loss column this season for Pope John Paul, 26-1 on the year for the Jaguars, and that loss came last week in the Nike Tournament of Champions over in Arizona. Pope John Paul II came off a 4-0 final day at that tournament, and a very, very balanced attack that leads the way for head coach Rachel Battistella and Pope John Paul II that we'll get into a little bit more in just a moment. Meanwhile, Country Day, a very storied program under Coach Julie Ibieta, state champions 2009 to 2014, had a trip to the state semifinals last year and came up on the short end of what was a classic five-setter against Ascension Episcopal. This year, the Cajuns, young in a lot of spots, but experienced in some others, including at center, with Jenna Ibieta leading the way for this Country Day offense and setting the outside hitters. The Cajuns, 13-7 on the season, have played an absolutely rugged schedule. They had a stretch of 3 straight five-setters. Just recently, last week, they lost a 5-set match against Sangamon last week. Came back with a 5-set win over North Shore and lost a 5-set match after that to Mount Carmel. So this Cajuns team has seen some of the best in the state, and they're about to see one more. And Pope John Paul II, who is right on the doorstep of being nationally ranked this year. That's how strong this Jaguars team has been. But the Cajuns certainly have some weapons and some youth as well. Coached by Julie Ibieta, as mentioned, who was former UNO head volleyball coach, also coached at UNC Charlotte at the collegiate level before coming into high school level and guiding this Cajuns program. Took the Cajuns, as we mentioned, to 6 straight championships between 2009 to 2014. And that match that we mentioned last year, the Division 5 semifinal against Ascension Episcopal, 4 of those 5 sets, get this, went extra rallies, including the last, that went 18-16. Meanwhile, on the other side, Pope John Paul II, we mentioned about 4 players that lead a balanced attack by registering over 100 kills, and leading that category individually is Camille Dito with 154 kills coming into tonight. Dito, a very versatile player who actually switched positions before last season to right side. 4 double-doubles for Dito on this season. Meanwhile, some of the youth on Pope John Paul II's side, as well as Ainsley Tullis, has made immediate impact as a freshman and is the team's setter. Tullis, or one of the hitters, I should say, Tullis is second on the team in kills and aces, first on the team in digs, and had 7 aces, a season high, in a win over Dominican on September 20th. Tullis, an outside hitter for this Jaguar squad that just adds to the attack that they have on this front line. Also, 2 seniors on the roster include Sarah Trosclair, who is one of the starters, a force at the net, 1.8 blocks per set for Trosclair coming into tonight's match. Pope John Paul, 2-time defending Division 4 state champions against Country Day. The latest unofficial power rankings just coming out. Pope John Paul II is at the top. No surprise in Division 4. Meanwhile, Country Day currently is 3rd in the unofficial LHSAA power rankings, the latest version in the state in volleyball in Division 5. We got a good one for you, folks. We're going to come back in just a moment and give you starting lineups and first serve. You are tuned in to Prep Volleyball here on SportsNola.com, presented by First NBC Bank. Back with starting lineups in just a moment. And we're back here on the campus of Country Day High School. Emmanuel Peppis with you as we have prep volleyball to bring you. Pope John Paul II and Country Day set to do battle on the court. Two schools that actually just did battle on the football field last Friday, with Country Day taking that contest and continuing their undefeated run at 5-0. As the two teams are about to exchange pleasantries at midcourt, we will give you the starting lineups. First, for the visitors, coming in from Pope John Paul II, located in Slidell, in numerical order, plus the libero. It's going to be number 1, Sydney Nealon, a junior middle blocker. Number 2, Tyler Sanderson, junior outside hitter. Number 6, Melaine Dana, a senior setter. Number 7, Camille Dito, a junior right side. Number 8, Sarah Trosclair, a senior middle blocker. And number 14, Ainsley Tullis, an outside hitter. And the libero is number 4, Kendall Battistella for the Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the starters for the home side, Country Day. By the way, Pope John Paul wearing gray tops with navy blue numbering and lettering trimmed in gold. Country Day wearing the black uniforms with blue numbering and lettering trimmed in red. This is their starting lineup. Number 3, Casey Chairs, a freshman middle blocker. Number 4, Kate Lawney, a freshman defensive specialist. Number 9, Samantha Henderson, a senior right side. Number 13, Jenna Ibieta, a senior setter. Number 21, Kennedy Mopan, a junior outside hitter. Number 22, Alex Smith, a sophomore outside hitter. And the libero is number 5, Lee Mayer, a junior in classification. We are so glad you joined us wherever you may be joining us from. Country Day and Pope John Paul II getting set for what is sure to be another big test for the Cajuns and for the Jaguars, of that matter, who have faced some of the best competition recently last week in the country. Meanwhile, Country Day very well tested of their own. Back to serve for Country Day, it's going to be Kate Lawney. And we will be underway shortly here in Metairie. There's the official's whistle. Lawney puts it in play. Serve is received and an early set. And this is going to be straight down the middle, dug out nicely by Ibieta. Battle for it at the net, and it's won by Pope John Paul II for the first point. Jousting at the net that time, going up were Nealand and Tullis. And it's Tullis to go back to serve. Jaguars leading 1-0. Tullis serves it, puts it in play. Ibieta with the bump set from the outside. Cross-court hit, and that one is dug out by Dana. Now it's going to be set on the outside, off the tip. Diving dig that time by Mayer. Kept alive. Mopan sends it over. Dug out on the back line. Cross-court set. Now a swing, and it's going to be dug out by Mayer. It's a free ball. They'll punch back over, but kept alive from Nealand's hit. And now Mopan just has to bump it over for Country Day. Long rally going, and now it's going to be set for the outside. Cross-court kill attempt, and that one goes off the block for Pope John Paul II. And it was Dito notching her first kill of the match of the Jaguars with an early 2-0 lead. Tullis will remain on serve for Pope John Paul. The Cajuns looking to break the rotation. Serve over, going down the receiver. It's a free ball, though, dumped back down by Nealand. On the reception, Lawney had to sprawl over to her right. Kept it alive, but wound up sending it over to the waiting hands of Nealand, who just pushed it back, and the Jaguars' lead is now 3-0. Here it's set number 1. Tullis again to serve. Serve goes over. Goes right at Lawney again as she goes down to a knee. It's received, though. Set up for the kill attempt. That goes from Ibieta. That was Casey Chairs, who notches her first kill and the first Cajuns point of the evening. 3-1, Pope John Paul. Serve over it is from Chairs. It's sent deep, and it's received, and it's going to be set now on the slide. That one is blocked. No, it's off the tape. So it's a point for Country Day. As it came back off the tape, it did not hit a blocker, and Nealand touched it again. So it's 3-2, and Chairs sends it hard low over. Serve received, played off the net by the setter that time, Dana, and then just sent over two-handed. Ibieta sets up, tapped over, and it's easily dug out that time by Trosclair. Set up for the kill attempt, blocked, but then kept alive. On the other side, Tullis, and then it's sent over, and a point for Pope John Paul. Off the block attempt, Tullis kept it alive for Pope John Paul II, and they were eventually able to win the point. Serve over, and it's going to be received by Lawney. Set from Ibieta, cross court, and this from Mopan. Dug out on the back line expertly that time, and now set up for a cross court kill attempt. That one dug over, but right over to Trosclair, who dumps it back. Sanderson's first kill attempt would not go, but off the dig attempt, it went right back over on a free ball, and it was finished off for a Pope John Paul point. 5-2, Jaguars. Madison Norton on the serve, sends it over, had just subbed in, and now Mopan rattles the tape and goes over. It is dug out, and it's going to be set now on the kill attempt. That one off the block, and then Ibieta with the dig. This is going to be set up for Ibieta. She tries to tap it over, and it winds up hitting the tape and back. 4 hits on Country Day and a point for the Jaguars. So Pope John Paul II establishing some early momentum here, racing out to a 6-2 lead. Norton again to serve, a defensive specialist and a service substitution just a couple of points ago, a junior. Now set up for a kill attempt. Chairs off the block, trying to keep it alive. They sprawl to do so, and it's bumped over by Sanderson. A free one for Country Day. Pass to Ibieta. Set up for a backline kill attempt. That one is dug out on the backline on the other side. Now a tip over. Racing to get that one was Mopan, but she sends it right back. And now it's going to be set from Dana for a kill attempt for Sanderson. Cross court, it's in. Tyler Sanderson. And the Jaguars with the point now lead at 7-2, and a timeout called by Coach Julie Ibieta. As the Cajuns looking for a little bit of an offensive rhythm currently in the first set, just struggling a little bit out of the blocks against this Jaguar squad that came in so very highly regarded. 7-2, Pope John Paul II. Quick timeout. We'll be back in just a moment. You are tuned in to Prep Volleyball on sportsnola.com, presented by First NBC Bank. Back here at Country Day High School, and the Cajuns hoping the timeout will spur them on here, now trailing by 5, as the Jaguars have stuck Country Day in this rotation with Madison Norton still on serve for Pope John Paul II. She sends it over. Lonnie receives. Ibieta is going to set. On the slide this time, it's Chairs, and she kills that one off the deflection on the back line. Trying to dive to keep it alive was Tullis. One-arm dig attempt, but it went off of her right arm and right back out of play. 7-3. Cajuns get that first point out of the timeout, and now they rotate around, and it's the libero, Lee Mayer, to serve for Country Day. Mayer sends one over, and it's received. Going to be set by Dana. Set up for a kill attempt, and that's down quickly for Pope John Paul II. And right on the spot that time from the middle was Sarah Trosclair. So the Jaguars get it right back, and Camille Dito is going to put it in play for Pope John Paul. 8-3 Jaguars here in set number 1. High toss, jump serve over, received by Mayer. Set, no, Ibieta just going to dump it over, and she gets it down. The crafty play by the senior, Jenna Ibieta, as a double sub coming in for Country Day, who gets serviced right back. The Cajuns, Kelsey Dinvo and Cece Tyson are both in. Tyson, a service substitution, a senior defensive specialist, will put it in play. Standing serve goes over from Tyson, and it's received. Going to be set from Dana. Cross court this time for Sanderson, blocked but out of bounds. So it is a kill for Tyler Sanderson and a Pope John Paul point. 9-4. Back and forth we go out of the timeout for the first handful of rallies. And Sanderson to send it over, and that one is received. Going to be set by Ibieta. This one for Smith. That one grazed the block back, and then is dumped over by Dana, but kept alive. And now it's just going to have to be bumped over back to the net, so it's a free ball. And now a bump set up for a kill attempt by Trosclair, dug out by Mayer. Ibieta sets. Smith runs into one, and she gets it down. Alex Smith gets her name in the kill column, and Country Day right back on serve, 9-5. And it's going to be Jenna Ibieta will put it in play for Country Day. Ibieta, one of 4 seniors on the roster. Standing serve goes over deep. Dito with the reception. Set up now for a kill attempt by Tullis, and we've got a whistle and a stoppage of play. Pope John Paul point. Net violation on Country Day. So the Jaguars get the point, now lead 10-5. Back to serve now for Pope John Paul. It's going to be Trusclair. Serve goes over. Mayer receives. Ibieta sets. This one's for Smith. Going for the back corner. That one dug out by Dito. And now it's going to be set up. Dito from the back line sends it over. Mayer with the dig. Tracking back. Now another swing, this time by Chairs. It's dug out again by Dito. And now Tullis, 2 hands, 1 over. It's dug out by Smith. Dump play by Ibieta. Sprawling to that one. I believe that was Dito. Now a joust at the net. Back on the Jaguar side. Set up for Tullis' kill attempt. And it goes. Rattles between the block attempt from the Cajuns. That is Henderson and Dinvo, who tried to set up the block, but unsuccessful, and the Jaguars' lead is the largest it has been in set number 1. It's at 6. 11-5 your score. Standing serve over. Mayer receives, and Ibieta with a set at the net, and that one is going to be sent down right away by Kelsey Dinvo. And the Cajuns back on serve, trailing by 5. Back in is Kennedy Mopan, as Smith is back to serve for Country Day. Smith sends one hard over, push towards the net, going to be set by Dana, set up for a kill attempt by Tullis. That one popped very high, and it rattles off of the ceiling here of the gym and came back down, so Tullis winds up getting the powerful kill for the Jaguars and puts them right back on serve once again. And it's going to be the setter, Dana, to serve for Pope John Paul. Dana sends it over. Serve received, and that one is going to be set up by Ibieta for a kill attempt. That's blocked. It ricochets around, and then Mayer sends it over. Like a pinball that time, but it's still alive, and now blocked back, but continued. And now Dana's going to set this time on Dito, and that one goes off with deflection. Well, that first kill attempt just rattled around 3 Cajuns. They managed to send it back over, continue the rally for a little bit, but Camille Dito was eventually able to finish the deed for the Jaguars, and it's 13-6. Dana now to serve. She sends it over, and that's going to be received, tracking back Mopan, and it's going to be set for Mopan from the outside. She tries to stuff it down, but it's kept alive by Nealon. Now a kill attempt, and that one kept alive by the right hand of Tyson. Just has to be bumped over. Free ball now for the Jaguars. Pass to Dana. Set up for a kill attempt. Dug out. And that one by Ibieta rattles off the Raptors again. And it has to be bumped over this time by Tyson. Now the Jaguars can set up once again. Cross-court kill attempt. Tullis goes soft. And she gets it over the block. Ainsley Tullis scores for Pope John Paul. And it's now 14-6 as Country Day makes a substitution. Caroline Conwill checks in. Sophomore right side. Now set up and off the reception in tight at the net. Country Day was appealing for a net violation, reaching over the net. No matter, the Cajuns do wind up getting the point. As Chairs and Lonnie are back in, Lonnie is going to serve for Country Day. So Coach Ibieta changing things up a little bit. We've seen a couple of different players trying to get Country Day into a rhythm. 14-7 your score in the first set. Pass to Dana. Dana sets up, tapped over by Tullis. Now we got a whistle and a dead ball. Country Day point. Net violation. Going in the net that time was Tullis. And now a timeout is going to be called by the Jaguars after the Country Day Cajuns string together back-to-back points. Coach Battistella trying to regather her team on the sideline with a minute timeout. We'll take the break with them and come back in just a moment. 14-8 here in set number 1. Pope John Paul II leads. You are tuned in to high school volleyball on SportsNola.com, presented by First NBC Bank. Back here at Country Day High School, the Cajuns trying to rally back from an early deficit here in set number 1. They've been chasing the set from the start, down 14-8. Pope John Paul II actually opened with 7 of the first 9 rallies in their favor. But it's Kate Lonnie on serve. She sends it over, and it's received. And now Dana is going to set cross-court for a kill attempt. Dito, that one dug out in position, and then set from inside at the net. Ibieta, cross-court push, and that goes down. off the hand of Samantha Henderson. Nice dig attempt, or dig on the back line to keep that ball alive. And Henderson was able to eventually push it right across the plane of the net and over. Lonnie serves it over. 3 straight points. The Jaguars, one cuts off another to receive. Now set up for a powerful kill that goes by Tullis. Mayer trying to dive to her right to keep that one alive, but just too much pace that time from Ainsley Tullis. The Jaguars end the mini run of the Cajuns on that rotation. Back on serve, now leading again by 6, 15-9, and Tullis is back to serve. Sends it over. Received, Lonnie. Ibieta is going to set this one, and it's set up for Chairs. Off a deflection, and it's going to be dug out and then popped over. Free ball. Now Mayer passes it to Ibieta. Cajuns with another swing, and that goes down. Henderson finds the gap, and the Cajuns with 4 of the last 5. Back on serve, trailing 15-10. Henderson now to serve for Country Day. One of the 4 seniors on the roster sends one over. Serve receive. Dana is going to set, and it's for a smash kill by Dito. Dito just sent that one in with authority. And Pope John Paul II back on serve. There's the powerful and balanced attack the Jaguars employ. 16-10, your score. Serve over, receive, Lonnie. And it's going to be set this time for Chairs. Off a deflection. Dana digs that one out. Now it's going to be set up for a kill attempt, and that one off a deflection. That's going to go down. Tyler Sanderson notches the kill to her credit for Pope John Paul. 17-10. So the Cajuns trying to get back in to the throes of this first set, but the Jaguars have responded with a couple of powerful kills from Sanderson and from Dito. Serve received by Lonnie. Ibieta is going to dump it over, and it goes down. Again, Jenna Ibieta with the great court awareness sees the space beyond the front line and pushes it over right into the spot for the kill. 17-11. Mayer to serve for Country Day. Jump serve over, receive, spinning towards Dana. Now set up for a kill attempt. Dito, and she goes in between the back line and gets that one down for a point. Camille Dito racking up the kills. 18-11, your score, as in now is Norton. Madison Norton on Pope John Paul II's side. Dito, toss, jump serve into the net. Service error, the first of the match on either side. It's been a very clean game from a service aspect, but the first miscue there, and it gives a point to Country Day. Double sub coming in, and it is on the rotation. Tyson and Dinvo. Tyson to serve. CC Tyson. Standing serve goes over, and it's received and going to be set by Dana. Set up for a middle kill attempt. That goes down. That is Trusclair. Henderson tried to dig that one out, but to no avail. So Sarah Trusclair gets the point for Pope John Paul II. 19-12, your score here in set number 1. And it is Tyler Sanderson who will serve for Pope John Paul. Sends it over. Mayer with the receive. Ibieta running set that time, and Smith sends that into the net. Off the reception, Ibieta was sent chasing after it, and Smith couldn't really get a good hit on it either. In an attack error, I should say, and the Jaguars' lead is now 8. Serve over received by Mayer. Ibieta sets this time a little bit lower. Kill attempt blocked back, but continued. Now they're going to set outside for Smith. That one dug out by Dito, and it's going to be set up. Now we got a whistle and a double contact called on the setter, Dana. Cajuns point makes it 20-13. Ibieta back to serve for Country Day. Sends it over. And it is received off the net. Dana has to play it off the net. Third hit goes over. And now Country Day with it on their side. Ibieta pushes it over the front line. Diving to keep that one alive was Dito. And the Jaguars wind up getting the point. Pope John Paul II was sent scurrying that time, but still managed to get the rally in their favor, 21-13. Serve goes over, and it's Tyson to receive it. Ibieta to set. And it's Smith with a swing. Back corner goes down in bounds. Alex Smith with her second kill, and it is 21-14. On rotation, Kennedy Mopan is back in for the Cajuns. Meanwhile, Smith just notched that kill, will now serve. Cajuns down by 7. Serve over on a line, received. Dana has to run the bump set. That one back in the court of play, and that's sent out. Dito with the attack error. And it's 21-15. You got to think if the Cajuns can respond with some kind of sizable rally now, we'll put a lot of pressure back on the Jaguars. Dana sets for Tullis. Dug out off a deflection. That was Tyson. Ibieta sets, and that's for a kill attempt by Henderson. That will go off the dig attempt by, on the back line, I believe that was Sanderson. She winds up sending it towards the crowd, and the Cajuns all of a sudden within 5, 21-16. And Smith to serve once again. Alex Smith sends it hard, low over, received, and now Dana sets this middle, and that goes off a deflection. Tullis with the kill. Ibieta with the instinct trying to stick her arm up at it. Went off of her arm and out of bounds. 22-16 Jaguars, and now Dana to serve. Serve goes over, received, Tyson. Spins in the air, Ibieta sets, Mopan with the swing, and that one is dug out on the back line. Dana now going to set, tipped over the blocks and down for a kill and a Jaguars point by Sydney Nealon. And it's 23-16. Substitution as Conwill is in for Dinvo. Serve over, received, and that was Mopan. Ibieta going to set middle, sent over by Conwill, dug out on the back line. Now a swing pushed over by Tullis, and that one reacted by Mopan, and then popped over, cross court. Dito with the dig, off balance that time. Tullis with a swing. Ibieta trying to keep it alive, but it winds up falling after the first hit, and a Jaguars point. And now it is set point for Pope John Paul, leading 24-16. Serve from Dana goes over, received, Mopan inside at the net, set up for Conwill to kill it, and the Cajuns back on serve. From Ibieta, Caroline Conwill with her first kill of the match, double sub on the rotation. Lonnie back in, so too is Chairs. Lonnie to serve, 24-17. Cajuns did have some success in this rotation with Lonnie serving earlier in the set. Hoping for something at least to draw momentum, if nothing else, going to set number 2. Serve received, Dana sets, and now a kill attempt cross court, and that winds up going out of bounds. No deflection, it's sent right out cross court from Tullis, and it is a Cajuns point. 24-18 on the attack error. So, Lonnie once again the serve for Country Day. Sends it hard, low over, received. Dana is going to set. This is for Dito to try to end the set, but dug out by Lonnie. Now Ibieta with the bump set cross court. That's from Mopan. Pops it over from the wrist, and it's dug out on the back line. Set up now for a kill attempt, and Mayer trying to dive to end it. And now we got a whistle on the Cajuns point. Net violation on Pope John Paul. Excuse me. It is a Jaguars point. I'm sorry. 25-19, the set ends. And Pope John Paul II, we had a little bit of confusion about the official signal about where it was pointed, but Pope John Paul II does take the set 25-19. Got 3 minutes in between. We will take the break with them. And correction, sorry. They just fixed the scoreboard again. It was a Country Day point. We were right the first time, folks. Apologies back home. Score was put up as 25, meaning the Jaguars obviously would have ended it, but we saw the official signal that it was a net violation on Pope John Paul II, but you never know if there's an appeal or if there's a change of a decision anywhere that maybe you don't catch. But there wasn't. And the Cajuns now back on serve with Lonnie. 24-19. Lonnie sends it over. That trips the tape and goes down on the other side, an ace. Kate Lonnie comes up with an ace for the Cajuns, and it's 24-20. Just got to take it one rally at a time, and certainly that's what the Cajuns have done. The Jaguars, every time it gets a little bit closer, how much tighter do you play? Dana sets, and now trying to end it. Nice dig that time by Lonnie off the Tullis kill attempt. Henderson bumps it over, free ball, pass to Dana. And Dito will try to end it, sends it over, but Mayer with the diving dig. Ibieta sets, and this time cross court, and that goes too deep and out. Henderson trying to angle that one, just too much air on it, and the Jaguars eventually end the set 25-20. But if anything, the Cajuns can take solace in the fact that they did start to string some offense together towards the middle and end of that first set, heading over to set number 2. Teams will change sides. Jaguars lead 1-0. We will take the break. You are tuned in to high school volleyball on SportsNola.com, presented by First NBC Bank. Back here on the campus of Country Day High School, Pope John Paul II takes set number 1 at the count of 25-20 over Country Day. Wanted to get to something as we are set for set number 2. Both teams, well, Pope John Paul on the court, Country Day getting final instructions from their bench. We saw that service ace where it tripped the tape and went over. I actually talked to Coach Ibieta about this before the match because this has been something that's been talked about at the international level about having that being done away with as a point and having that be sort of like in tennis, a let service. And talked to Coach Ibieta about that and really just wanted to get a coach's perspective. But it's really, with all the rules that happen with the rally scoring and how the scoring has changed with volleyball over the years, it's been kind of a pace of play initiative, if you will, and maybe going to a let service and doing away with those services being points would be contradictory towards the pace of play. But it's an interesting topic that's happened on the international level, but it has not trickled down really to the high school level. But it's something that obviously for you folks out there that enjoy watching the game of volleyball at any level, it's something that's been out there or that's been floated out there, certainly at the highest level. Of course, we had the Olympic Games just last month in Rio, and there was some conversation about that as well, and talked to Coach Ibieta about that. And she mentioned about how the rule changes have gone with pace of play, but how a change like that would really not be so significant as far as really how it affects matches. But she did mention about the pace of play and how things were changed to make the game go a little bit faster. And how maybe changing to a let service would go contradictory towards that. But with that said, set number 2 getting ready to get underway. Pope John Paul II leading by 1-0, and it's going to be Melaine Dana to serve. She sends it over for the Jaguars. Serve received by Lonnie. Ibieta is going to set. Henderson with a swing off the block, and it goes to the official. Off the side of the block attempt by Tullis and Nealon went right into the abdomen of the official on the stand. 1-0 Cajuns. Henderson will send it over. Serve trips the tape, received, Nealon, and now two Jaguars bump into each other on the second hit. Third hit sent over, free ball. Mayer passes to Ibieta. They slide the middle, kill attempt blocked back, but continued from chairs. And now set up Ibieta with a swing, and that one goes off of Sanderson's dig attempt. Jenna Ibieta with the kill, showing her versatility on the court. 2-0, Cajuns. And again, Henderson will serve for Country Day. Serve goes over, received. Sanderson, and it's going to be set this time middle for Tullis, and Tullis winds up killing it. Dana with the assist. Tullis with the kill. Jaguars on the board in set number 2. Now on serve with Ainsley Tullis. Sends it over, and that's deep. Lonnie with the reception, and two Cajuns kind of graze into each other. Has to be sent over a free ball. Now Dana sets middle, and that was Dito, but dug out by Lonnie. Mayer is going to bump set and just sent over by, that was Lonnie. So another free ball. Sanderson off the blockers and down. Tyler Sanderson gets one down for a Jaguars point. 2-2. And again, it's Tullis to serve. She'll send it over. Received, Lonnie going to her right. Now Ibieta sets up for Henderson. Cross court, dug out Dana. And it's going to be bump set backwards from Tullis. Sanderson with a hit, and Lonnie with the dig. That one spins sideways in the air. Set up now for a kill attempt cross court from Mopan, dug out on the back line. And it's going to be set overrunning at that time, just having to send it over. And now we got a whistle in the Cajuns' point, as we have a double contact called on Pope John Paul. 3-2 Cajuns. Mayer now will serve. Mayer sends it into the net. Service error. 3-3. And a point given back to Pope John Paul. Substitution coming in for the Jaguars. It is Madison Norton, and she will serve. Junior defensive specialist. We mentioned that Country Day has 4 seniors on their roster. Pope John Paul with just 2 are Dana and Schroskler. Serve received, set from Ibieta. This is for Smith with a swing, and getting to that one on the dig that time was Tullis. Now a swing from Dito off the block and down. Camille Dito with the kill, but big credit to Tullis on the back line. A tough dig. It was right at her, but hit with a lot of pace. But she stuck with it, kept it alive, and Dito was able to finish it off. 4-3 Jags. Now, Norton to serve once again. Sends it high over, received by Henderson, and it's going to be set up this time for Smith, and that goes off the block. Alex Smith with the kill. And the Cajuns right back on serve as their double sub on rotation. Tyson is in. So too is Denvo and Tyson to serve. CC Tyson, standing serve, goes at an angle over, received by Tullis, pass to Dana, set up, pushed over, and then Mayer with the dig. Now Ibieta dumps it over, but alert to that one, that time was Troskler. Now with a swing from just beyond the 10-foot line, and that goes for a kill off a deflection. That was Tullis. Ainsley Tullis gets that one to go off a Cajun. And the Jaguars right back on top, 5-4. Been a pretty even battle since that early jump by the Jaguars in that first set. Dito sends it over, received, and now spinning towards Ibieta. She sets for Smith, and Smith with a powerful swing and a kill. Alex Smith puts the Cajuns back on serve. 5-5, your score. Jenna Ibieta now to serve for Country Day. Serve goes over, received going down to both knees. That time was Dito. Now it's set for her. A kill attempt from deep, dug out by Mayer. Smith with a swing, cross court in position that time was Norton. Now another swing by Dito. Mayer tries to keep it alive, but it kind of hit flat off her hands and down. And the Jaguars with the point. Camille Dito with 2 swings on that rally. Second time, a charm. Well, John Paul back on top, 6-5 here in set number 2 with Sanderson serving. She sends it over. Received and now going to be set from Ibieta. This one is for Henderson off the block and just getting underneath. That one was Sanderson with a swing and a kill for the Jaguars. It's Trosclair. Sanderson sprawling forward. Kept that one up. And Trosclair was able to finish it off. Jaguars lead by 2. Once again, it is Sanderson to serve. She sends it over, received by, or it's going to be set by Ibieta, received from Tyson, and that one is popped over and down for a Country Day point from Henderson. On rotation, Mopan is in for the Cajuns, and Smith will serve. She sends it over, received, and now going to be set by Dana, and Trosclair jumped early, but still was able to get that one over and down. Sarah Trosclair jumped a little bit early that time on the set from Dana. Now we have a sub for Pope John Paul. Sydney Neeland on rotation is in. Meanwhile, Trosclair sends it over, received Tyson. Ibieta sets middle, and that goes down for a kill for Country Day. And on the spot that time, just checking in on the other side was Kelsey Dinvo. And now Chairs and Lonnie double sub in for Dinvo and Tyson. Lonnie to serve, 8-7, Pope John Paul. Here in set number 2. Serve into the net. Jaguars with the point on the service error. We saw one of those in set number 1. We've seen a couple here in set number 2. A 9-7 Jaguar lead. Dana sends it over. Serve received, and now Ibieta with the set, and it's a kill attempt. That goes down for a Cajun point, and that is Casey Chairs. She was responsible for the first point of the match for Country Day. Gets another on her name there, 9-8. Country Day hanging right in there with the Jaguars. Serve sent into the net. Another service error on Country Day's side, this one on Henderson. Jaguars now back on serve, again leading by 2. It is Tullis to send it over. Sends one high. Henderson receives. Ibieta sets, and that's going to be pushed over and dug out by Dana. And now going to be bump set this time, pushed over by Dito, easily from Mayer. Ibieta sets up, and that one a joust at the net, and now again jousted for Country Day, has it back on their side. Ibieta sets, this time for Mopan. Spins off the block, but takes a deflection off a Cajun. And it's a Jaguar point, 11-8. Couple of battles at the net on that rally. Tullis sends one high and deep over. Received by Henderson. Set up for a kill attempt. Popped over but dug out. That time by Trosclair. And now Sanderson with a kill attempt. Mayer with a dig on the back line. And it's going to be set again, that time for Henderson. Diving dig, that time by Tullis. And now standing hit over by Tullis. Mayer pushes that one out. Ibieta just sent it over. And now Dito is going to try to kill it. Mayer right in position on the back line. Now popped back over by Chairs. Kept alive again. Long rally going. Block back continued. That time by Tullis. Jaguars another swing from Sanderson. That one dug out by Mayer. Ibieta bump set. Mopan with a swing. And that goes off the left hand of Tullis. Kennedy Mopan ends a long rally, perhaps the longest of the night, in the Cajuns' favor. And a big point to get them back within 2, and a timeout called by Coach Battistella. 11-9, Pope John Paul II leads here in set number 2, already up a set. We'll take the break. You are tuned in to High School Volleyball on SportsNola.com, presented by First NBC Bank. Back here at Country Day High School in Metairie, the Cajuns trailing 11-9 and a set to none. Just got a kill on a long rally from Kennedy Mopan, and let's see if that changes the momentum at all. Neither side has really been able to separate, but the Cajuns just been a tick behind here in set number 2. Serve over, received, and it's going to be set up for a spike attempt, and that one goes. That was Camille Dito with force. The Jaguars with the point. Madison Norton will check in as a service substitution. 12-9, Jaguar lead. Serve goes over, received, and that's going to be set from Ibieta. Slide that time, and that one off the block. Tullis with the dig, off of the Chairs kill attempt. Jousted for at the net, right back from Chairs. And now another swing, and that one dug it on the back line by Mayer. Ibieta chases the bump set this one. Smith pops it over the block. Dana with the dig. Tullis sets outside for Dito. Spins high off the block. Mayer with the dig. Cross court kill attempt. It's Smith, and that one off at deflection. Dana with the dig. Another long rally. Pushed over the net. Cross court and out. Cajuns point. 12-10. Country Day prevailing in the longer rallies tonight as Tyson comes back in. So too, as Tyson is a service substitution, Dinvo is back in as well. Tyson sends it over, received, and now Dana is going to set this one for Dito. Blocked back, but continued, and that was by Norton. Now just has to be bumped over, a free one. Pass to Ibieta. Ibieta cross court set. It's Smith, spins off and down for a Cajuns point. Alex Smith, 12-11. Jaguars lead. The Cajuns could level it up right here with Tyson once again on serve. C.C. Tyson sends one over. Dito receives. Dana going to set. Dito with a running start on the back line. Mayer digs. Ibieta sets. Smith with the swing. Dug out by Tullis. Dana underneath that one. Sets up for Sanderson. Off the block and then dug out by Ibieta. Bump set from Henderson. And it's swung at by Smith. Dug out on the back line again. Back on the Jaguar side. Tapped over, but Smith alert to that one. Pushed back over by Ibieta. Dana is there. And now a pass. Sets up for a kill attempt by Dito. And that one is dug out. And now Smith with a swing. Back corner, and it's in! Alex Smith gets one inbounds right on the back right corner, and the Cajuns have tied it back up at 12 apiece. C.C. Tyson to serve once again, a dozen aside. Tyson sends it over. Serve received, and now Dana is going to set this one for Sanderson, and Sanderson responds for the Jaguars to put them right back on top, 13-12. Anytime they've needed a point to really squash any type of momentum the Cajuns have built forth, they've gone to their outsides, either Sanderson or Dito, mostly. Tullis has certainly been involved as well. Again, the depth of this attack as Dito serves, Mayer receives, Ibieta sets, that one a smash kill by Kelsey Dinvo. And back on level terms with the Cajuns once again, 13 up. So you had 12-12 with number 12, C.C. Tyson serving for the Cajuns. Now you have 13-13 with number 13, Jenna Ibieta serving. Serve received, and now Dana bump sets. This one is for Sanderson, and it's dug out by Mayer. Sent back over, and it is eventually down for a Cajuns point. Country Day with the lead, 14-13, their first lead since it was 4-3 in their favor. Ibieta sends one over. Serve received, Dito. And now it's going to be bump set. And this is for Sanderson. Pops it off the wrist. Ibieta sprawls, keeps it alive. Tyson sends it over, a free ball. Pass to Dana. Set up for a kill attempt. That one is dug out, and I believe that was Tyson again. Smith with the swing. And that one is dug out by Tullis. Dana is going to set this time. It's for Dito off the block, but Ibieta gets underneath. Tyson now with the bump set. Ibieta with the swing. And Dito in perfect position for the dig. Now set up for another kill attempt, and we got a whistle. And a dead ball. A net violation and a Jaguars point. The intensity ramping up with each rally as Country Day right in the middle of the set, 14-14, tied. Serve receives. Smith this time sets Henderson with an awkward hit off of it, but she could not get in position. And the Jaguars take the lead now, 15-14. It is Sanderson serving. She sends it over. Ibieta is going to set this time and knocked over by Dinvo, but kept alive. And now we got a whistle and a stoppage. And we've got a violation on the Jaguar side at Cajuns point. Again, tied, 15 all this time. And it's Alex Smith to serve. Smith sends one over, right side, and that received by Tullis. And now it's going to be set and just has to be bumped over. It cannot be. Dito with just kind of a flat hit. And the lapse on the Jaguars side, and Country Day back in the lead, 16-15. Smith will now serve. Once again, sends one into the net. Looked like it went a little bit off the side of her hand. She wasn't too happy with the hit as it came off of her right hand. On rotation, Mayer checks in her place. Meanwhile, on the other side, Trosclair serves, received by Tyson, but nobody could get to that one. Miscommunication on the Cajun side that time as it just falls innocently to the ground. And the Jaguars back in front, 17-16. What a set we have boiling here. Serve over by Trosclair, out. A service error gives it right back to Country Day, and it's 17-17 on rotation, double sub for Country Day. Chairs and Lonnie with Lonnie to serve. Country Day was able to string together some points off of Lonnie's serve in set number one, hoping for the same result here in this rotation at a critical spot. Serve received. Dana sets. Tullis with a big swing. Mayer tries to dig it out, unsuccessful. And Pope John Paul with the point from Tullis. And the Jaguar lead is now 18-17. We have been tied at 4 different occasions since that timeout taken by Pope John Paul at 11-9 with a lead. Dana to serve. Serve over, received Lonnie, and it's Ibieta to set on the outside. Henderson, and sends that one toward the corner, but out. A service, or excuse me, an attack error. And it makes it 19-17, Pope John Paul. Dana serves over, received, and that's going to be set from Ibieta back this time for Henderson. Pops it over the blocker, but Tullis was right there. And now Tullis was set for her, and she kills it. Ainsley Tullis, 2 of the last 3 points, and a mini spurt for the Jaguars to now lead at 20-17. Timeout called by Coach Ibieta. We'll take the break with him. Set number 2, Pope John Paul leading 20-17 over Country Day, ahead 1-0. You're tuning to high school volleyball on SportsNola.com, presented by First NBC Bank. Back here at Country Day High School, the Jaguars with a mini spurt here, leading by 3. Ainsley Tullis with 2 kills in this 3-point stretch. And it is Melanie Dana to serve for Pope John Paul. Jaguars leading 1-0. Dana sends it over. It's received by Lonnie. Pop very high. Bump set from Ibieta. And it's just pushed over by Mopan. And it goes off the left hand reaching deflection of Dana. Kennedy Mopan popped it over the block. Dana tried to reach for it. And she sent it further back, and no other Jaguar could retrieve. And now we are going to see a new face in the match for Country Day. It is number 14, Bailey Davis, a sophomore, on serve. Left-handed serve, so giving a different look. Serve received. Dana's going to set, and it's set middle, popped over and down. And there's Tullis once again for the kill on the Jaguars' point, 21-18. Now, Davis checks out. Henderson in her place for Country Day. Back to a 3-point advantage as Tullis will send it over. Serve received by Henderson. And it's going to be set from Ibieta. Cross court from Mopan. Trying to kill it deep. Goes too far. Out of bounds. An attack error on Kennedy Mopan. And the Cajuns will now take their final timeout of the set. 22-18. Pope John Paul II gaining some very valuable separation as we're late on in set number 2. We will take one more break with them and come back in just a moment. You are tuned in to High School Volleyball on SportsNola.com, presented by First NBC Bank. Back here at Country Day High School, a 5-1 run here for Pope John Paul II. 22-18 your score here in set number 2. The Jaguars on the verge, going up 2-0. Cajuns trying to change that. Serve receive, set up for a kill attempt that goes down. 1, 2, 3, and that is Chairs on the mark for the Cajuns. Now Country Day will be on serve, and it is Mayer who will do the honors. Mayer runs into one. Serve received. Trosclair. Dana sets. This is for Dito. Pushes it over towards the back line. Running to that one was Mayer. Ibieta sets. Leading into one was Smith. And that one is dug up by Sanderson going to a knee. Now Dito with a kill attempt blocked. Oh, big block off of Dito. And the Cajuns pull it within 2. Smith was there. I believe Chairs was the other Cajun who was in the neighborhood as well. Mayer serves over, received, and that's going to be set from Dana. And set up for a kill attempt. Sanderson off the block and then dug out by Smith. And Ibieta tries to dump it. Dana was there, though. And now bump set from Trosclair, pushed over by Sanderson. And now it's bumped twice, has to be hit over third time by Chairs standing and leaning back. Now a kill attempt, that one off the block and then dug out. Ibieta sets. Smith with a swing on the outside, and that one winds up going. Did it take a deflection? No, they said it went off the tape. Ooh. The Jaguars, there were 2 Jaguars on the outside trying to block that one. It came back and out of bounds. Coach Ibieta and the Cajuns appealing that it touched one of the Jaguars on the front line. Took a couple of beats there to come up with a decision. It goes the Jaguars' way. Serve over, received, and that's going to be set from Ibieta cross court. And this is for Smith, and she smashes that one, but off of the lights, and it's kept alive and sent over. Surely it looked like it was going down. Now Chairs with a swing, and it cannot go. It's a Jaguars point. Oh, my goodness. A fortunate deflection off of the lights on the ceiling. And it went right into Dana, who was able to keep it alive, send it back over, and the Cajuns with an attack error on their side. Now it's set point, 24-20. Serve over, and it's received. And now it's going to be a free ball jousted at the net, back on the Jaguars' side. And Sanderson with a swing to try to end it. Mayer with the dig. And now Ibieta sets. It's Smith, and that is back on the Cajuns' side. Set point, Jaguars, 25-20. Set number 2 has finished. And Pope John Paul II, the exact same score as it was in set number 1, 25-20 in their favor. We will take the break. Jaguars leading it 2-0 and on the brink of getting their 27th victory of the season in 28 matches. You are tuned in to High School Volleyball on SportsNola.com, presented by First NBC Bank.
You want louder?
Yeah, you want louder.
I can literally just turn him up.
I do that.
All right.
Back here at Country Day High School, as the Pope John Paul II Jaguars leading the Country Day Cajuns 2-0, taking the first 2 sets by identical scores, 25-20 in each. I want to thank you all for tuning in tonight as we have this best-of-5 matchup between 2 powerhouses, the Jaguars, 2-time defending state champions in Division 4, and the Cajuns, a powerhouse in Division 5. I want to thank the folks here at Country Day, including Mr. Mike McGuire and all the staff here at Country Day, and both schools and both coaching staffs who have been so helpful in helping us bring this broadcast to you. And thanks to the Merritts as well for their work behind the scenes. Matt Merritt working the camera, Chip Merritt working the scorebug that you're seeing right now while watching this match live. And we got plenty of high school sports action to bring to you. Of course, more prep football coming this weekend. You can check out sportsnola.com for the schedule and for what's on tap. And, of course, Ken Trahan's original prep football report every Friday night from 6 p.m. with the pre-show with Ro Brown and Rick Gailey to 11 o'clock where Friday Night Football takes over. We thank you for joining us here on sportsnola.com as set number 3 is getting set to get underway. Country Day was able to start the second set on more level terms, but Ainsley Tullis was a big difference maker down the stretch for Pope John Paul II in set number 2 and helping the Jaguars to a 25-20 set victory after Country Day took a couple of leads early on in the set and took a 15-14 lead in the middle part of the set as well. We went back and forth for a while. The set was tied at 17 apiece before the Jaguars commenced a 5-1 run. As both lineups are being straightened out and being checked over by the second official down by the table. So we have a very slight delay before this third set will get underway. On the court for the Cajuns, it's Ibieta, Tyson, Mayer, Henderson, Smith, and Dinvo. For the Jaguars, meanwhile, we've got Neeland, Sanderson, Dana, Dito, and Trosclair as well, along with Tullis. As the serve over by Ibieta received, Dana is going to set, and this is set middle off the block, and we got a whistle on the stoppage, and it winds up being a net violation on Henderson, I believe they called it on, and the Jaguars with a point. 1-0. Tullis back to serve. She sends it over. Serve received by Mayer. Set up by Ibieta. Smith with a running kill attempt, and that goes out. Alex Smith, who had, I believe, by my count anyway, 6 kills through the first 2 sets, sends that one too far, and it's 2-0. Pope John Paul. Tullis sends one over. Tyson receives, and it's going to be set by Ibieta. This one's for Henderson. Pops it over the block, but Dana was there from the back line. Push back over, free ball. Ibieta sets, and this one's for Smith. Sends it deep, dug out by Tullis. Set up this time for Sanderson. Mayer sprawls to dig that one out. And it's going to be bump set from Tyson. 2-hand push over by Ibieta. Pass to Dana. Set back this time, and it's Sanderson again. Mayer in perfect position. Now Ibieta sets up. It's Smith with a kill attempt. Blocked down. And that was Sydney Neeland right on the spot for the Jaguars. Dito also went up, but that went off of Neeland, the junior middle for Pope John Paul, and it's 3-0. Here in set number 3. Serve over, received, and that's going to be set from Ibieta. Set up for a kill attempt, and that winds up going down off a deflection. Jaguars concede their first point of the set. 3-1. As Country Day is now on serve. Kennedy Mopan is in on rotation to replace Mayer. Meanwhile, it's Smith to serve. Alex Smith sends it deep over, and that one received by Tullis. Set up that time by Trosclair. Kill attempt goes for Tyler Sanderson. Sanderson with the point. Jaguars right back on serve, leading 4-1. Of course, should they prevail in this set, it would be the match. Serve over, and that's received. That's Tyson that time. Set up for a kill attempt, and that one kept alive. Country Day appealing for a violation, doesn't get one. Tyson with the dig that time, and now set up for a standing hit over by Tyson. Back to Tullis for the Jaguars. Set up for a kill attempt that goes out of bounds. And a Country Day point. An attack error as Chairs and Lonnie will check in on the double sub on rotation. And it is going to be Kate Lonnie to serve. Serve goes over, received, and that's going to be set from Dana. Set up for a pushover by Trosclair, and it goes down. Sarah Trosclair gets the Jaguars right back on serve. 5-2 is your advantage for Pope John Paul II. As Camille Dito, high toss, jump serve, over, receive Lonnie, and that one a straight line. Ibieta had to push it back over, but she could not, and it winds up going down on the Cajun side, and a Jaguar point, 6-2. The service reception sent it right towards the net, jutting at Ibieta. Serve over, now received. That one pops higher. Ibieta sets, but a missed swing that time by Chairs. And a timeout now called by Coach Ibieta. Similar to set number one, the Cajuns not able to really get in sync, as 7-2 is your score in favor of Pope John Paul II, with set number 3 already begun. We'll take the break. You are tuned in to high school volleyball on sportsnola.com. By First NBC Bank. Welcome back here to Country Day High School. The Cajuns trailing 7-2 here in set number 3. Jaguars back on serve with Camille Dito out of the timeout. The Cajuns not been able to really get their offense going. Part of that has been the frontline presence of the Jaguars, but a couple of missed plays as well on the other side, as now serve receive, set up for Chairs, dug out by Tullis, set up that time by Dana. Sanderson pushes it over right to Ibieta. Now it's set up, Ibieta sends it back over and out of bounds. And Country Day was appealing that on that kill attempt that there was a pushover and a grab of the ball with the hand. It was not called. Pope John Paul II leading by 6 now. Serve over received by Mayer. Ibieta runs underneath the bump set. That one from Mopan. Takes a deflection, goes down. Kennedy Mopan spins that one on the Jaguar side for a Cajun point. 8-3. Now to serve, it is Henderson. She sends it over, sends it deep. Serve received. Dana sets middle back. A kill attempt. Goes out, and it's dug by Henderson. Mopan with the swing. That one dug out by Dito. Now back on the Cajun side. Ibieta tries to dump it. That one kept alive, and that was Norton, and then popped over for a kill for the Jaguars. And a point to make it 9-3. And it will be Sanderson who will serve. Sanderson with a running start, sends it over. Henderson pops that one sideways. Ibieta towards the bench, able to save that one, and Henderson pops it over standing. And now set up for a kill attempt, and that goes off with deflection. Ainsley Tullis with the kill for the Jaguars to make it 10-3. And after it started to tighten up towards the end of set number 1, and it was really close throughout set number 2, the Jaguars emphatically ahead early in set 3. Serve received by Henderson. Bump set by Ibieta. Cross court from Mopan. Off the tape and over. That was dug out, though. And now Trosclair with a swing and a kill. Finds a vacant spot beyond the back line. And Trosclair, perfect placement to make it 11-3. Jaguars in firm command. Cajuns with 1 timeout left. Of course, you get 2 a set. Serve over and out. Service error that time. Gives the Cajuns a point, and let's see what they can draw off of this rotation with Mayer. Lee Mayer to serve. We got a substitution first. Henderson checks out. Mandy Friedlander. First action of the night for Friedlander, a junior. Checks in the place of Henderson. Serve over, received, and that's going to be set up that time by Dana. Set up for a swing. That one blocked, but continued by Dana. Now Tullis from the outside, cross court, and that winds up going down inbounds. A tough angle shot. And it winds up going in from Ainsley Tullis. She was in certainly not a very good position, but she made it work, 12-4. Serve goes over, trips the tape, and Mayer able to dive to get to that one. Set up for Smith's kill attempt. That goes off a block out of bounds. Alex Smith will get credit for that kill. 12-5. Cajuns needing a big rotation from somewhere, and this time it's Tyson who checks in on rotation along with Dinvo, and Tyson to serve. C. Tyson sends one over. Serve received, and it's going to be set from Dana. And this is for Tullis. Pops very high off the block. Tyson calls for it. Now set from Ibieta. This is for Smith with a swing, and that one dug out on the back line. And now the Jaguars send it back over with Sanderson, dug out by Mayer. Set up for a kill attempt, and that one is stuffed down in front of the block attempt by Nealon. We should mention the Jaguars had a substitution as well. While the Cajuns sub, Shelby Nealon, wearing the libero jersey for the Jaguars, is in for the first time tonight. Set up, and now Dana is going to set middle this time for Tullis, dug out by Mayer in perfect position. Ibieta sets up for Smith, rattles off of the tape, and it winds up going back. No other deflection. That's 4 hits. Ibieta hit that one again. After the hit off of the tape, it spun back on the Cajuns side. 13-6. Jaguars. Dana sends it over, received, and now going to be bump set by Ibieta. Smith reaches back for one. That one dug out by Shelby Nealon, and it's going to be set up just a free ball over. So now a pass from Friedlander to Ibieta. Sets up for a kill attempt, and that one dug out by Dana. And now we got a whistle and a Cajuns point. A lip violation called on Pope John Paul. 13-7. Friedlander checks out on rotation. Henderson back in. Ibieta will serve it. Jenna Ibieta sends one over, and that one goes towards the bench, but Dito was there, and that one sent into the net on the standing hit, and a Cajuns point, and all of a sudden, chipping away 13-8. Jaguars did lead by as many as 8 points earlier on in this set. Ibieta sends it over again, serve received, and now Dana sets, and this is going to be set up down the line, Dito, but that's out of bounds. Camille Dito with the attack error and a timeout called by the Jaguars. Make it 13-9. Country Day trying to rally back into it. Trailing 2-0. Will take the timeout. You are tuned into high school volleyball on SportsNola.com. Presented by First NBC Bank. Back here at Country Day High School, the Cajuns trailing 2-0, trailing 13-9, but it was 12-4 just a moment ago, so 5 of the last 6 points have been for the home side. Jenna Ibieta sends one over, serve received, and now Dana is going to set, and that's set middle, and a powerful swinging kill by Tullis. Ainsley Tullis makes it 14-9. We've really seen the timeouts work in both sides' favor. That first rally out of the timeout has usually gone the team that's taken its way. Tullis serves it over, received Mayer, and it's going to be set Ibieta. This is Henderson with a swing too far, out of bounds. and it's 15-9 on the attack error. Just too much air underneath the hit that time. Tullis to serve once again. Jaguars lead a little bit more comfortable at 6. Serve received by Mayer. Set up for a kill attempt. That one took a deflection off the tape and back to Tullis with a dig. Set up now for Tullis over the block, but Mayer with the diving dig. Ibieta back bump set, and that one sent over standing that time. And set up for a kill attempt, and that one kept alive by Ibieta. And can be bumped over. It is by Mayer. Now a pass to Dana. Jaguars trying to end the rally with Dito, but Ibieta's there for the dig. Now Tyson runs underneath. Ibieta with the swing, and that one is dug out easily by Dana. Tullis back, and now it's Sanderson. And that one popped very high, and that goes into the stands. And a Jaguars point. 16-9. And right out of the timeout, Pope John Paul has scored the first 3 points out of it. Serve goes over from Tullis. Receive Tyson. Now it's going to be dumped over by Ibieta and down. Another alert play from Jenna Ibieta. Seeing a spot vacant in the middle of the court. Gets it down. Shelby Neelan was the closest in vicinity. 16-10. Alex Smith to serve. She sends it low over. That's going to be an ace. Smith with the ace, trying to receive that one was Tullis, but she wound up sending it right to the head official. Made the catch, 16-11. Smith, another hard serve. That one lands in. Oh! It is a service error. I believe the line judge was signaling that ball was in, maybe. It's 17-11. Serve goes over, received by Tyson. Ibieta runs to set that one, popped over. Now Sanderson, and set up for a kill attempt. Mayer with the diving dig, and now Ibieta sets back this time. Henderson pops it over. That one is dug out that time by Norton. Sent over, Mayer with another dig. Now Ibieta sets cross court this time for Mopan, and that one popped up, and it's down. Norton with the initial dig attempt. Tullis could not get around her. And the Cajuns with the point, 17-12. Lonnie and Chairs back in. Lonnie to serve. Serve goes over. Received and now set from Dana. This is for Sanderson. Off the block and out of bounds, but it went off a deflection. A Jaguar point for Tyler Sanderson. 18-12. The Jaguars inching closer to stealing a victory on the road against a tough Cajuns opponent. They've seen the biggest powers you could see in the state. Serve over, received, and now set by Ibieta, and this one pushed over by Chairs, and Dana was there. Sanderson with a swing, and that one goes. Tyler Sanderson sends that one down in front of Ibieta, 19-12. Cajuns still have one more timeout as Dito will serve. She sends it over sideways, and that one is received and now set up for a pop over, and it winds up going over. But now we got a whistle and a violation called on the Cajuns. Henderson, I believe it was. And it's 20-12, Jaguars. Henderson checks out. Conwill is in her place. Dito will serve once again. Serve goes over, received by Mayer. Set up from Ibieta. Now a kill attempt, and that eventually goes down for Casey Chairs. Cajuns with the point, make it 20-13. Service substitution. Bailey Davis is going to check in for Caroline Conwill. Davis, as we saw, a southpaw server. Sends it over, and that's received calmly by Tullis. Now set up for Sanderson, blocked back but continued by Dana. Still continue, bumped over by Dito. Mayer passes to Ibieta, sets middle, Chairs lofts it over, but it's kept alive. The Jaguars can send it back over. They do with Sanderson, dug out by Lonnie. It hits off the ceiling once again, but there Davis to send over standing. Now Sanderson with a swing off the block, and Davis is there. Ibieta sets. This is from Mopan, trying to kill it deep, but there was Tullis. And now set up for another kill attempt. Trosclair and Mayer was there. And now push back over and down. Back left corner. Cajuns appealing for double contact. They don't get it. 21-13. Pope John Paul. They were appealing for a double on that push over. I believe it was Trosclair who did it. Sanderson will now serve. Serve goes over, received, and that's going to be a free ball for the Jaguars. And now set up middle for a kill attempt, and that one played off the net off the dig attempt by Chairs. That was dug out by Lonnie. Back on the Jaguar side, and it's Tullis with a swing, and that winds up going down on a block for Country Day. The Jaguars now having some words with the second official. As Mayer will serve, 21-14. Pope John Paul. Cajuns serving with Mayer, sends it over, and it's received and now going to be set up. Popped over by Trosclair. Diving for that one was Lonnie. Nice dig, and now Ibieta sends it over. There was Dito, and a kill attempt was dug up by Lonnie. Now Smith with a big swing, and that one pops off of the ceiling. Jaguars alert to it, though. Dito bumps it over. Mayer now passes to Ibieta, sets up for Smith with a big swing and a kill. Alex Smith smashes that one home, 21-15 Jaguars. And since being stunned by that 12-4 run from Pope John Paul II to start the set, the Cajuns, of course, with the math, they actually have outscored the Jaguars by 2 since then, 11-9. Set up for a kill attempt. Tullis pops it over, and there easily was Ibieta. Now Lonnie sets for Ibieta. Going towards the back corner, there was Dito. And now set up for a kill attempt, and that one is back on the Jaguars' side. A block attempt that time by Chairs and Ibieta. 21-16, and the Cajuns trying to roar back with Mayer still on serve. Remember, it was 21-13 when she took service for the Cajuns. Serve over received. Dana sets, and Tullis with a kill attempt block back, but continued this time. And now Tullis, two-handed push over. Mayer sprawls to get that one going. And now Ibieta pops it back over. Third hit goes over from Sanderson. Now a pass from Davis. Sets up for Smith with a kill attempt, and that one goes. Alex Smith with a kill. And the Cajuns really feeling it now in this rotation, 21-17. It's as close as it's been since that 12-4 start by the Jaguars. Serve over received, and now it's going to be set. Bump that time from Dana. Set middle, that one from Dito. Dug out by Mayer. Smith with a big swing, but it's kept alive. Keeping her body in front of that one was Sanderson. Another kill attempt block back, but continued. Now back on the Cajun side. Ibieta dumps it over and down. They have the Jaguars on the back foot, and now a timeout called by Pope John Paul II. Country Day coming roaring back, down 21-18 now, as we will take the break with them. You are tuned in to high school volleyball here on SportsNOLA.com, presented by First NBC Bank. Back here at Country Day High School, the Cajuns trailing by as many as 8. Now it's just 3. 21-18, and Lee Mayer has been on serve this entire time, but Alex Smith has provided the lion's share of the offense here for the Cajuns as Mayer sends it over. In this run, serve receive, set from Dana, and this is for a kill attempt, and that one goes for Tullis. Anytime they've needed somebody to step up with a big kill out of the timeout, number 14 has been called upon. Sydney Nealand is back in as Troskler will serve. Serve over, received by Mayer. Ibieta sets, and this is going to be Smith with a big swing and a kill. Alex Smith ensures that the Cajuns get right back on serve. Double sub, Dinvo is in, Tyson is in, and Tyson will serve. C.C. Tyson standing serve over, received by Dito, and that's going to be set up now for Tullis with a swing, but Tyson with a dig. Ibieta sets up for Smith, and that one rattles off the block and down out of bounds. Alex Smith will get credit for the kill once again, 22-20. Right at the net as Tyson sends it over. Serve received by Dito, and that's going to be set up for a kill attempt by Tullis, and Tullis with the kill. Right off the block, Ainsley Tullis makes it 23-20. Now Melaine Dana. To serve, sends it, trips the tape, goes over, and it winds up being received by Smith, set up for Smith's kill attempt, that goes off the block out of bounds. Alex Smith has been absolutely massive down the stretch here for the Cajuns as Henderson checks back in for Davis. Ibieta to serve, Cajuns back within 2. Anybody set here, 23-21, a huge point upcoming, and an ace! Holy moly! Jenna Ibieta comes up big time with a service ace off of, I believe, Dito, and it's to within 1. 23-22. Ibieta sends it over. Much cleaner reception that time. Dana sets, and it's middle. Tullis tries to pop it over, but it winds up going off the net and back, and it's tied at 23 all. Can you believe this? From 21-13 down, the Cajuns have come storming back and tied it up at 23 apiece. Serve received by Dana, or set up from Dana, and that's going to wind up being played off the net. Cannot be continued, and a Jaguars point. And now it is set and match point for Pope John Paul II, 24-23. But the Cajuns certainly not going down without a fight and hoping to continue and extend this match. Serve goes over, received by Smith, pops it very high. Ibieta sets, it's Smith, pushes it over the block, but there was Sanderson. And now it's going to be set up. Dito will try to finish it off the block, but Ibieta digs it out. Tyson sets, standing hit over by Ibieta. And now getting underneath that one just was Tullis. And now we got a whistle and a Cajuns point. That's a double contact on Dana. We are going extra rallies here in set number 3, 24-24. And it is Alex Smith to serve. She sends it deep and out. A second try at match point for Pope John Paul. Subs coming in for the Jaguars, including the server, which is Madison Norton. 25-24, Pope John Paul. Norton sends it over, and that's received by Mopan, who just checked in. A joust for it at the net, and it winds up going down on the Cajun side. Jaguars, after a furious rally by Country Day, wind up withstanding 26-24 in set number 3, and the Jaguars win in 3 competitive sets. Final score 25-20, 25-20, and 26-24. Pope John Paul II moves to 27-1 on the season. Country Day drops to 13-8. A fantastic rally set up by really the offense of Alex Smith, the service of Lee Mayer, The Cajuns were really able to get the Jaguars scampering all over the court, really got them on their back foot. A big service ace by Jenna Ibieta had drawn the Cajuns to within 1. They eventually tied it at 23 aside, and then at 24 aside, staved off match point once but could not do it twice, as a joust at the net was won by Pope John Paul II to finish it off. And once again, the Jaguars relying on a balanced attack, but it was Ainsley Tullis who came up with seemingly some of the biggest points of the night for Pope John Paul. Of course, we saw Camille Dito being involved in multiple ways as well for Pope John Paul, Tyler Sanderson as well, Sarah Trosclair, and the Jaguars were able to fend off what was a very strong Country Day squad. 3-0 your final, as Pope John Paul II emerges a winner. We thank you for joining us here on SportsNola.com for this broadcast of high school volleyball, and we want to mention to you, those who are tuned in, of course, to SportsNola.com, our high school coverage continues on Friday night with our SportsNola.com game of the week, and it is Covington taking on St. Paul's this Friday night at 7 p.m. We'll have the live broadcast on SportsNola.com. Also, on WGSO Radio, 990 a.m., there will be a doubleheader of high school football on Saturday. St. Aug and Shaw, and Landry Walker and John Ehret, both at Haas-Memphis Stadium on the West Bank. And it will be, both games told, will be streamed online, and of course, it will be on radio as well on WGSO. Final score once again, Country Day falls in 3 sets, 25-20, 25-20, and 26-24 to Pope John Paul II, the number 1 team in Division 4, and a team that is vying for a national ranking as well, along with a third straight state championship in Division 4. Meanwhile, Country Day will still be, of course, one of the main contenders in the Division 5 playoffs. They've just gone through a very, very rugged schedule and had a couple of strong comebacks in set number 1 and set number 3 as well, before eventually succumbing to Pope John Paul II. We thank you for joining us for Chip Merritt, for Matt Merritt, and for the folks here at Country Day, and we thank all of them for their hospitality and allowing us to bring this broadcast to you. Emmanuel Pepis signing off. We hope you have a wonderful evening, and thanks, of course, to Pope John Paul II as well, and both coaching staffs for being so helpful. Thank everybody, and we will talk to you, of course. Ken Trahan will have his original prep football report on Friday night on WGSO Radio and on SportsNola.com. Covington and St. Paul's, the high school broadcast of the week, and a doubleheader on radio and online as well on Saturday. We have been tuned in to high school volleyball on SportsNola.com, presented by First NBC Bank. So long, everyone.